What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MI Gardener channel. I'm so excited for this episode because it's going to be a quick one, but it's going to be a fun one because we're going over our indoor garden. It's been about 3 weeks since we started this garden and a lot has changed. We have only done, I think, one update video, so it'll be a lot of fun to look at kind of what these plants look like at the 3-week mark. Not a ton has really taken off yet. I think generally plants take that kind of 1 to 2 weeks to kind of build up speed, and then next week's update, everything will look so much different. It won't even look like the same garden. So while it looks kind of bare from your angle, once we get up close, you'll see there's actually a lot happening, and I'm really excited about what's what's to come from this garden. And also, I also wanted to answer one quick question before we looked over the bed here to see what was growing. And that was, how often am I watering this garden here? So that is definitely one of the most common questions that keeps coming up. As you know, we talked about drainage. We don't have any drainage, so we do have to be careful about overwatering. But even with no drainage holes, we find that we're still watering about, on average, about 2 times a week, and we'll feed it about 1.5 gallons of water when we do water. So about three gallons per week. It's definitely not uncommon, and you know, that doesn't seem like a lot for me. For other people, that might seem like a lot, but it's really not that much water for this size bed. 16 square feet, 3 gallons over the course of a week. That's not too bad. So hopefully that answers your question, but I always do say, don't go off of the numbers that I give you. You have to understand that different environments will cause you to water at different rates. I mean, if we had a fan blowing, or if this was even upstairs where it's a little warmer, the temperature, the humidity, airflow, all of that will cause a variance in how much you have to water. So just keep that in mind and know that you have to go by how your plants are communicating with you, because you might only have to water once a week, or you might have to water 3 times a week. So don't let my answer be your guide. So the first most impressive thing we have growing in this garden bed so far has been the Mizuna Red Streaks mustard. This is just taking off like crazy. It's growing into a beautiful thick mat of mustard greens, which is exactly like what we were anticipating. They are growing a lot faster than I had expected, which is also a great thing because we'll be harvesting from this in probably about 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks. It's best to harvest mustard greens when they're small before they get too large and too spicy. Then over here we do have as you've probably seen, not much has happened with the red vein sorrel, but we are starting to get some true leaves. You can start to see some of the little bits of red starting to poke out on some of the leaves. It's really, really, really slight, you know, on some of these ones. There's a little bit of red there, but these will get nice and thick, just like the Mizuna, but they are a much slower grower. Then we also have some of our lettuces here. As you can see, these are kind of taking their own sweet time. The tango leaf lettuce is just pulling through. As everyone knows, this is our favorite type of lettuce. It is a fast grower. It is a fast maturer. It is cold hardy, and it's very heat tolerant. It's just a fantastic lettuce all around. But this thing is just taking off. This is absolutely crazy. Then over here we also have the red romaine, which is just really looking pretty. So that's growing up well. You know, the bronze guard, it's doing okay. I think the bronze guard definitely was not a great plant to grow here because it is more prone to damping off. And when we were kind of dialing in the watering, you can see here we lost a few plants due to the watering regimen, maybe getting a little more water than it probably should have. So this one was affected. The black-seeded Simpson, a little bit of the same. Probably not the best plant to grow in this bed here because it does like really well-draining soil, versus the tango leaf lettuce. It doesn't really care. It'll grow in anything. But it's doing, once it bounced back, it's really bouncing back well. Then over here, the dill is doing great, starting to put out some nice true leaves. The cilantro, I will take all of that. We love cilantro here, so all of this is great to have in the garden. And it's starting to get its true leaves on, so we'll start picking a few leaves here and there, probably about 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks on that. And then over here, this is the parsley. Parsley is starting to put out some true leaves finally. As you can see, it's stayed really nice and short and stocky to the ground. Kind of hard to see, but once I put my hand behind it, you can see we actually have quite a few really great rows of the Japanese long bunching onion, or the Tokyo long bunching onion, sorry. And then in this row here, I have some of the Parisian carrots. The Parisian carrots are the only carrot you could possibly grow in this bed because they are a round carrot that don't really get a large taproot because we only have, like I said, about 6 inches of soil here. So just a long carrot would not be possible. So we went with a Parisian carrot, but they're doing really well. And then the tomatoes are looking awesome. Hardly any lagging, there's no lagginess really. And they're starting to put out their first set of true leaves, staying nice and stocky. And remember, these are dwarf tomatoes, so they're going to do really well. The definite star of the show is the cucumbers. They're doing great. I haven't thinned them out yet, and I don't think I'm really going to. I'm probably going to just kind of let them duke it out, and whatever happens, happens. The peas, they're already starting to produce some of their tendrils, so we're definitely going to need to put some trellising behind them, but really beautiful nonetheless. Nice little row of peas there. And then the last two plants are, one of them is the radishes. These are actually starting to bulb up, which I did not think would be possible. It's going to be really exciting to see how they turn out. So these are the French breakfast radish and the lady slipper radish. So there's some beautiful radishes that are going to be happening here. And then the last little bit of plants we have growing are the basil. And you can see the basil, they're doing really well. They're also a slow grower, but once they start growing, they really take off pretty fast. So I don't think we're gonna have any problems getting a couple of good harvests out of those. So that is everything that is growing, and yeah, it looks pretty nice. So there you go. There's a 3-week update of everything that we're growing. I'm really impressed with how stuff has grown, and I think it's going to really turn out great. I do think that as well, that something like this is really easily done. I hope you all are trying something like this, even if it's not even the same style setup that I have. Growing something indoors definitely keeps your mind occupied, stuff that really helps me out with the winter blues. And even if it's just getting ready for seed starting, you know, there's a lot of things you can be starting if you live in warmer climates that you could start seed starting right now. So get out there, get your garden planned, or grow something until you can start your garden. But either way, I hope you're starting to grow something or planning on starting to grow something really soon. If you do have any comments or questions, post them in the comments box below. The best time to ask a question is right after I upload the video. So if you're thinking about waiting, you know, an hour or two to see what kind of questions pop up, usually by that time there's already a tidal wave of comments and it just gets you really overwhelming. So I try to stay on about 30 minutes to an hour after I upload, so that I can answer any comments or questions that come up that I think are worth answering. So as always, I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something new. And also, if you are starting something at home, let us know in the comments box what you're starting. I'd love to know. And we'll catch you all in the next episode. I'll see you all maybe tomorrow, but definitely Friday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I might have a video up, but we'll definitely see you Friday. So as always, this is Luke from the My Gardener channel reminding you to grow big or go home, and we'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.